Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
Like, they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
Melly looked visibly shaken in court after news broke that his co-defendant, Bortlen, was offered a 16-year plea deal. He has until tomorrow to make a choice. Without the deal, Bortlen faces 5 life sentences plus 75 extra years. The plea sheet includes charges like 2 counts of first-degree murder, multiple counts of witness tampering, and leading a criminal organization. If he accepts, his sentence drops to 16 years with time already served, meaning he could be out in about a decade.
Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged, that's life in Florida State Prison. I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Is directing the activities of a criminal. That's a first degree felony punishable by life. So the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. And again, as it's charged, that is also a life felony. As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison.
But why did prosecutors extend this deal? There are 5 main reasons, starting with Bortlen's behavior the night of the murders. During an interrogation, an officer asked him if he knew who pulled the trigger. His response
was just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear. But I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I wouldn't want to.
Instead of speaking, Bortlen shook his head nervously. He avoided eye contact, scared that any slip-up in his body language could expose him as lying. The second reason is that investigators don't fully believe Bortlen carried out the killings himself, especially since they already have evidence of Melly admitting involvement.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHH.
That's why Bortlen's getting this deal on the table. Meanwhile, Melly's retrial has once again been delayed. At an August 8th hearing, the Court of Appeals issued a stay, pushing the trial from September all the way to January 2027. This delay was expected, and many predicted the feds would use the time to pressure Bortlen. A no communication order has also been issued, banning Melly and Bortlen from any kind of contact, even through lawyers. Prosecutors clearly want Bortlen to flip and testify against Melly.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
If that happens, Bortlen becomes a star witness. He knows exactly what went down and could detail everything in court. It's unlikely he'll throw away his life by taking 5 life sentences for Melly, especially after Melly already tried shifting the blame onto him during the first trial.
Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Detectives even accuse Bortlen of lying to the feds, having gunpowder residue on his hands, and being the last person seen with Sack Chaser and Uwe before their deaths. Investigators explained what that residue actually meant, further implicating him.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of heart residue and 2 component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of heart residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was heart residue present on the hands.
Humiliated by being called out, Bortlen later tweeted after Melly's mistrial, "Mind games don't work on people like me," adding a handshake emoji, hinting he might have already been leaning toward cutting a deal. That was before new witness tampering charges were added, after police raided his home and found suspicious notes suggesting he planned to mess with jurors.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
Investigators even released images from the raid, sketches showing the jurors' seating arrangement along with descriptions of how they looked. It appeared Bortlen was plotting to influence or even eliminate a juror.
Real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on! It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro! Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They're like, oh, okay, thank you, brother.
And things got worse when surveillance showed Fredo Bang picking up Melly just minutes after Sack Chaser and Uwe were killed.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes They have more than just phone calls.
But prosecutors are also stacking more charges, adding alleged gang ties. They claim Melly was part of a street crew linked to Young Thug, using a Facebook post as evidence.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him. And he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Devins has big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
But Melly didn't like how his lawyers handled it. Reports say he clashed with his own defense team, telling them to just let the prosecution use a post.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You object to their request for me to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes, sir.
In court, witnesses overheard him saying, "I don't care. They can't prove that."
I'm aware that 924-071 call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership, and again, there are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the further conviction, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
But another witness came forward, claiming Melly asked King Von for advice on how to handle people taking too much money from him. Prosecutors say this shows Melly had a motive. He didn't want to split YNW profits with Sack Chaser and Uve.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
This new testimony not only gives Melly a financial motive, but adds another voice against him. On top of the 2 murder charges, he's also facing tampering accusations. Prosecutors say Melly once told his ex-girlfriend to leave the country so she couldn't testify. She stayed overseas for 3 years before finally being arrested when she came back.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
She even posted on Facebook, "It's out of my hands. Thank you to my village. God's plan, not mine." But iCloud data shows Melly pressured her into staying silent. That tampering charge alone could carry life in prison, even if he somehow beats the murder counts.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
Melly also lost his jail phone privileges for over a year, since prosecutors feared he'd keep trying to interfere with the case. His mother was devastated by this restriction.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail. They don't give it to him.
Authorities claim the ban came after discovering Melly was indeed using calls to manipulate aspects of the trial. Still, his mother has said she feels heartbroken over how her son is being treated.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But not everyone feels sympathy. Though, Charleston White said he's glad Melly isn't receiving special treatment.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
The situation even caught Booster's attention. He spoke publicly about how badly the stress is affecting Melly's mom.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
And if Bortlen takes the deal, he could finally reveal what happened in the 5 hours after crime. Prosecutors also dropped a bombshell, footage allegedly showing Melly admitting to the killings. Shockingly, both Melly and Bortlen were caught on camera celebrating and dancing only hours after their close friends had died.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
That footage shows Melly climbing into the back left seat of the Jeep, right where ballistics later confirmed the shots came from.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
Court documents state, the bullet trajectory moving from left to right inside the vehicle supports the claim the shots originated from the back left seat. Uve's own mother confirmed that Melly sat there.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the kids in this case?
Yes, I am.
How's that?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
But adding to the pile, prosecutors are using Bortlen's interrogation as evidence. It clearly showed him lying multiple times, with details that didn't match the crime scene.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home, you know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car, and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Yeah.
Investigators noted how his story kept falling apart. Though he tried to sound confident, he was repeatedly exposing contradictions.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass. Nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's like.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like.
These your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we got.
And you're doing them an in-service by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, son. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
The officer pressed for more details about the night of the murders, grilling Bortlen on how events actually unfolded.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
But the more questions they asked, the worse it got. Frustrated that no one believed him, Bortlen finally lost his temper and shut down the interrogation completely.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even talk about it no more. Like, cause I told y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. And we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.